Hello everyone, your voice here and welcome to our channel Sansevieria 101. So for this episode, we're going to feature another species that is belonging to the Pinguicula species of Sansevierias. And what I am showing you right now is named in the market as the Long Leaf Pinguicula. So we are not sure or for certain that this is a collected specimen in the wild or in a certain locality, or if it is a mutation in some garden or nursery. So we just discovered it appearing available in the market, and we don't have any information with regards to the origin of or where it was obtained. Like I said, whether it was obtained in a certain locality in the wild or if it is obtained in a certain nursery or garden. But nonetheless, it is having the name of Pinguicula longleaf. However, in my observation or my own opinion of it, or if I were to throw out the question, is it apt calling it a longleaf pinguicula? So my take on it, pinguiculas, when they grow normally in the wild, they can grow to a very large specimen. So in fact, they can grow to 1 meter. That's almost 3 feet. And a leaf of the pinguicula that is growing in the wild can measure to about more than 8 inches, perhaps 8 to 10 inches per leaf, since they are growing very large in the wild, especially if they're planted directly into the ground. So in my case, I haven't seen anyone posting a longleaf pinguicula that is having a very long leaf reaching to about 8 inches to 12 inches. I haven't seen anyone post. What we can do though is we can take measurements of what I have right in front of you right now. I can also put in a picture of it when I first bought it, so you guys would know, or you fellows would know, how it looks like when I have first obtained it in the market. So with regards to what I have right now, what I have is having leaf length of about let me try if I can move the camera sideways. So there's my 24-inch ruler, and I would have my thumb in here on the 5-inch where I have measure the leaf stopping, or if I can position the ruler deeper, it would be around 5.5 of an inch. So that's the longest that I can measure on this specimen. Perhaps the other one is measuring 6 inches right there. I'm considering that the leaf is also curving downwards, and I'm measuring 6 inches on the Pinguicula long leaf that that has appeared in the market some years ago. So when compared to a juvenile Pinguicula, you could say that it is a bit longer compared to the juvenile ones, but compared to the really matured Pinguiculas growing the wild, 6 inches is shorter to what I'm seeing in the wild. So in my take on it, the ID or the name longleaf pinguicula is not appropriate for it. If I could suggest a name or coin in a name for it, it is, my observation is, the leaf, they are not as plump as the normal pinguiculas that you can find. In fact, I'm measuring only 17 millimeters for the width or the thickness of the leaf, and also I'm putting in the consideration that this specimen has shriveled a bit in or currently, because of the weather that we have here. We are having temperatures reaching to about 40 to 41 degrees Celsius, so it's a bit shriveled up, but nonetheless it is much thinner compared to the normal pinguicula sizes that you can find in the market. So the mother plant, as you observe, is a bit shriveled, but the pup is quite healthy. So I'm guessing that all the nutrients are taken in by the pup. So there you go. The pup is actually a more plump. It is because it's getting most of the nutrients from the mother plant, and from 17 millimeters the pup is actually a bit plumper than the mother plant. So 17 to 19 for the 19 millimeters for the pup of the so-called longleaf pinguicula. So like again, as I mentioned, it is more apt calling it a narrow leaf pinguicula, because if you will take into consideration the growth of pinguiculas in the wild, uh, the pinguiculas growing in the wild have longer leaves compared to the long leaf pinguicula that is available in the market. The only situation we're in, it's longer, would be it's a bit longer if you compare it with the juvenile pinguiculas, or the common pinguiculas that was found in the wild. So for juvenile, these are longer, but if you take into consideration the maximum growth of the pinguicula species that's growing in the wild, this one can't be considered as a long leaf pinguicula, although the much better way of saying it or identifying it as is would be a slender leaf or narrow leaf pinguicula. That's more apt in describing the said specimen that I am presenting to you right now. So it is more apt, it is more appropriate to call it a narrow leaf pinguicula, because the leaves are narrower compared to the normal pinguicula leaves. So that's my take on it. And what we're going to do is we are going to remove this pup, because it has been taking nutrients from the mother plant, making the mother plant shrivel. So for us to keep the mother healthy, we have to remove the pup so that it can grow on its own. So in this content, I will be showing you how I repot it and how I remove it from the mother plant. So you will be needing a very sharp blade. This is the usual blade I'm using when I'm cutting off a leaf or a stolon of a Sansevieria. So what I do is I sharpen it a bit. So you just need to I just need to sharpen it a bit so that I can cut it easier and finer compared to cutting it with a blunt tool, and then you'd end up doing some damage to the plant itself. So again, I'm using my hydrogen peroxide to disinfect the cutting tool before I perform the procedure of cutting in or cutting the pup from its mom. So you can see that there is a runner right there. There's a runner right there. So to make it neater, I would cut it from that base and then also cut it from here, so that there are no remains of the runner that is growing from the mother plant, because there's no need for the runner to stay in the mother plant for whatsoever reason when you remove an offset from pinguicula. So I guess we will start cutting off the pup first. So you cut off the nearest point of the plant. Just be careful because the runners, they are not they don't come off easily, or in fact right now I'm having a very hard time cutting it. Sometimes you might need someone else help to tilt, because it's the stolons, they're very hard to cut. As you can see, I had a hard time trying to cut it, and I have sharpened the blade for it. Still, it was very hard for me to cut. So again, once you cut it, that's neat, nice and neat for a cut. Although I had a hard time, so you need to again spray hydrogen peroxide to make sure that that wound or that opening will callus faster and will be disinfected. So I'm going to put the I should start calling it Narrow Leaf Pinguicula. So I'm going to repot it. I'm going to set it aside for now. And in a bit I'll show you how I repotted it. So I did have a hard time trying to remove the stolon from it. So I'm going to try to remove the other one that's connecting from the mother plant. Like I said, it's very hard to do it. And if I can't cut it, I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Hold on, I'll try if I can. So like I said, it's very hard, and I'm afraid I might damage the plant by doing so, because it won't come off. So I would need another tool to do it, and I'll come back for that in a later period, because like I said, it's very hard to cut it. So I would need a clipper instead of a cutter to cut it. And I stopped doing it because I'm afraid to cause damage to the plant. So one other thing that we're going to do before we start repotting the offset is that we're going to clean off whatever is here. We're going to remove this wilted leaf. So you can just remove it by hand and pull it down sideways. It's very hard to work with pinguiculas because the root system or the stem part, the runners, they are also tough. So you will need better cutting material to clean off or remove the stolons from the plant. So I guess we are done with cleaning the mother plant. We will remove some other weeds that are growing in the spot as well, and also removing the weeds, because the weeds also take nutrients from the soil that is also making the plant less healthier than, or it's getting off the nutrients that's supposed to be for the plant itself. So we're removing some weeds that are growing on this mother plant, and also we'll do some maintenance. So if you're wondering, folks, what this basket is that it is with a fertilizer that is slow release. So this slow release fertilizer is already spent, so I'm going to just pour it down to the pot, and it will be it will in the future just be absorbed by the plant itself, and the soil, the more that you water it, the old slow release fertilizer would just be absorbed by the plant in the future. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to refill it with a newer slow release fertilizer, and that's how it looks like. Close it and uh, just stick it near to the base of the plant. So the old one, they're all spent, so I had to replace them with new ones, and have a new batch of slow release fertilizer, so that the plant would recover faster, because I don't think the slow release fertilizer is giving off any nutrients to this plant anymore. So we're done with putting in the slow release. We're doing some maintenance on the mother plant because it is kind of shriveling. Won't remove the mother plant anymore to check the root system. What I'll do is I'll pour some systemic pesticide to make sure that some of the pests on, if there are, will be taken care of. So all you have to do is to sprinkle it to the base of the plant, and then when you water it the next day, the slow release, or the granules for the systematic pesticide would take into effect, and the plant will be absorbing it. So we're done with the mother plant. So what we'll do next is we'll take care of the offset. So again, this is the offset that I have set aside, and this is how the long leaf pinguicula looks like. It is indeed having longer leaf compared to, if you compare the juvenile pinguicula to a juvenile long leaf pinguicula, or narrow leaf pinguicula to a normal pinguicula that was collected in the wild. So there you go. So we'll have a new pot, and we will position it as such. In fact, these are called air roots, and they were starting to touch the ground, and it was about time that I had to remove it from its mother so I can have it separated, and the roots wouldn't touch the ground anymore before you'd have a hard time pulling them out of the ground. So we'll just put it as such, and then I'm going to I'll try to position it growing in the center, so it's kind of hard because the roots have grown very, very long. Maybe I can bend it a little so it can I can kind of, I'm afraid to force it. I think there's no way for me to do it, so I'll just pour media on it at this position, because there's no way for me to make room for the roots anymore, and allow it to stand like it should be. So I'm going to release it like that. I think it can balance itself. I'll just add a couple more, make sure it's positioned. Alright folks, so we have filled out the pot with our soil medium or potting mix, and we have buried the root system deep to this pot. So I guess we have successfully replanted the offset of the narrow leaf pinguicula or what you see in the market as the long leaf pinguicula. So once again, we're not sure if this pinguicula species was collected in the wild, because there are no records of it. No one was, or no one did inform while selling it in the market. It just suddenly appeared in market, so we have no way to tell if it is collected in the wild, or it is a mutation coming from someone's nursery or garden. But nonetheless, my take is it is still part of the pinguicula species of Sansevieria. So everything of it is pinguicula. The leaf, the sharp tips, they're pinguicula. I don't see something amiss to say that it is a hybrid Sansevieria. Uh, and I guess before we end this content, if you have any questions or suggestions, I think I have forgotten to say something. There's something that I have. I would like to say, but I think I can't remember it. So what I'll do, folks, is that if you have any questions or suggestions, just leave a comment below, and then I'll try to answer them if I could. And if I have something to add, I will include it on the information of the content itself, or perhaps I'll put in a message below as well, with regards to some topics regarding the narrow leaf pinguicula, or the long leaf pinguicula that I am showing you right now. So I guess this is it for this content, folks. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.